Our weather, we're finally talking about something other than the crazy heat. Today, we're looking at scattered downpours. Even this evening, we could have a little rain, and that will be the trend all through the week. So thankfully, mercifully, less hot than those record highs that we were looking at many days last week. We are expecting the scattered rain, which will help with the heat, but also could bring a few heavy downpours. So kind of shifting back into that mindset in the summer, it seems like it's either the crazy heat or we have the heavy downpours, maybe with some street flooding. And there are active spots in the tropics, but no threats here, thankfully. We'll talk about that in a second, but here we're afternoon highs. So nice to see some 80s in the mix, and our average high right now 91. We were actually just a touch below that today at the airport, and many spots just making it to about 90 degrees, and that will be the trend all week long. Again, south of the lake, we're not seeing as much rain anymore, although we have had sort of scattered downpours around the area. Sun and other spots in St. Tammany Parish getting small downpours, Washington Parish too near Franklinton. Really, most of the rain that was most active in the past couple of hours just passed through Baton Rouge and is heading on to the west. And looking at what to expect for our temperatures, or actually just our rain amounts really quickly, we did get up to near a half inch for a couple of spots, but our official recording sites not extremely high for most of us today. Depended on whether you were under one of the heavy downpours or just kind of on the fringes of one. Temperatures, this is so nice, getting into this evening in the 70s and lower to middle 80s for some spots. Overnight tonight, we'll say lows in the 70s, and I think we will continue with at least some evening scattered rain, but should be tapering off as we move into tonight. We'll still keep it near 30 or 40% chance of rain over the next several hours. And then tomorrow, I have another 60% or so chance for rain and highs about 89 degrees. Now tomorrow, we are looking at an outlook we haven't seen in a while with that big high that kept us so dry and hot. This is our flooding rain outlook for tomorrow. There are the 4 levels here: marginal, slight, moderate, and high. We're going to be tomorrow under that marginal risk for some flooding rain, meaning a couple of downpours might dump a quick couple of inches, and that could promote some street flooding for tomorrow. But not everyone's going to see that. Now here's our model. We will dive in through this evening. This model has us clearing out with a rain, but I think, again, we could have some spotty showers or storms. Even tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., this model wants to put at least a little spotty rain. Notice the surface front, by the way, just kind of hanging along our coast, sort of stationary here along South Louisiana and into the northern Gulf. That's going to be a focus for some of the showers and storms. Plus, we have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. So tomorrow, 3 p.m., some scattered downpours here and there. And now we'll fast forward into Wednesday afternoon. And you can see why we have that chance for scattered rain pretty much every day this week. And Wednesday evening, we'll see some of it dropping off, but we will also be focusing some attention over on this low pressure area, which is going to be staying mostly off to the west of us by midweek and eventually moving into the Texas coast. But this is the one that's given that low chance of developing when we look at our tropical outlook. So even in the next 5 days, still only a 20% chance of development. So this is not a really likely scenario that this will turn into a tropical storm. But as this low, which is again very close to that surface front, this will kind of drift off to the west. And this is the area where it may try to organize at least a little bit and eventually move inland and bring that rain. As we look at our model, for example, the European, showing it bringing rain finally to Houston and spots that really have needed some rain in here in Texas, parts of Texas, and then over into maybe the Dallas area by this weekend. So that's the thing that's closest to us, not going to affect us other than just the rainy pattern that we have with the low pressure and with that surface front. Now out farther in the tropics, we have potential tropical cyclone 2. We were talking about this earlier in the show. This one, not a formed system or developed system yet, but it looks like it might soon become Tropical Storm Bonnie, skirt the coast of South America in the southern Caribbean Sea, and then eventually move into Central America. And a ridge of high pressure here is going to keep it on this more westward track and, of course, much farther south track than anything that would be close to us. And in the tropics, there's one more area I was pointing out, another wave behind what will probably become Bonnie. This one now has, in the next 5 days, only a 20% chance of development. This is one of these, it's way out. We're just going to have to watch it. Long range models right now keep it a little farther north and eventually have it maybe near the Bahamas, maybe in a week plus, and then maybe toward Florida or the East Coast. We will see, but keep it kind of weak at this point. So something to watch, certainly nothing to be especially scared of right now along the Gulf Coast. Our slow development is possible near the Texas coast. Atlantic spot could soon become Bonnie, but again, no big effects or no threats here besides our rainy pattern this week. And here it is, revealing the 7-day forecast with some 80s for the high temperatures. Maybe the next couple of days we could scrape 90 degrees, but you can see the trend is very different from last week when we were hitting near triple digits. We're about 10 degrees or so lower for our average or our highs this week, and the average is 91, so we might even be a little below that some afternoons this week. Do watch out for those scattered downpours, though. The pattern gets maybe a little drier at the end of the weekend and into early next week.
Alexandra,